6 habits. That is all this is. Not a complete life overhaul. Not a 30-day program. Not another list of things you already know and never do. 6 specific habits, practiced by Japanese people for hundreds of years, that produce results modern science is only now beginning to understand. I am going to give you all 6. Right now. No fluff. No filler. By the end of this video, you will have one thing you can start today. Not tomorrow. Today. Let us start with the one that will feel the most uncomfortable. Kaizen means one thing. Get 1% better. Every single day. Not 10%. Not dramatically better. 1%. Here is why this matters more than anything else on this list. Most people approach self-improvement like this. Monday, I will wake up at 5 a.m., exercise for an hour, read for 30 minutes, meditate, and completely transform my life. And by Wednesday, they are back to exactly where they started. Stanford psychologist Dr. B.J. Fogg spent 17 years studying behavior change. His conclusion: the brain resists large change. Biologically, not because you are weak, but because large change triggers the brain's threat detection system. It feels dangerous, so the brain shuts it down. 1% does not trigger the threat. 1% slips past the resistance. 1%, compounded daily, produces something the mathematics make almost unbelievable. 1% better every day for 1 year equals 37 times better by the end of that year. 37 times. Not from massive effort. From 1%. Your Kaizen starts today. Pick one area. Just one. And ask, what is the smallest possible improvement I can make in this area today? Not the best improvement. The smallest. Do that. Tomorrow, slightly more. That is Kaizen. That is habit 1. Habit 2. Ikigai. And this one changes everything else on this list. Ikigai is a Japanese word that has no direct translation in English. The closest meaning, your reason to get up in the morning. Not your job. Not your responsibilities. Not what you are supposed to do. The thing that makes you feel, when you are doing it, that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. There is an island in Japan called Okinawa. It has more people over the age of 100 than almost anywhere else on Earth. Researchers studied them for decades. They checked diet. They checked genetics. They checked exercise habits. The single most consistent factor, shared by almost every centenarian, was not diet, not exercise, not genetics. It was that every one of them could answer one question without hesitation. Why do you wake up in the morning? They all had an answer. Clear, specific, personal. That answer, that Ikigai, is what kept them alive. Here is your question. Not what you should want. Not what sounds impressive. What makes time disappear for you? What would you do even if nobody paid you? Even if nobody watched? Even if nobody knew? That feeling, however small, however impractical it seems, is the beginning of your Ikigai. Follow it, even slightly, even today. Habit 3. Wabi-Sabi. And this is the habit that will immediately reduce more of your daily stress than almost anything else. Wabi-Sabi is the Japanese philosophy of finding beauty in imperfection. Let me show you what that actually means in your daily life. Right now, there are things in your life that are not perfect. Your body, your work, your relationships, your progress, your home, and the gap between how things are and how you think they should be is where most of your stress lives. Wabi-Sabi does not ask you to lower your standards. It asks you to change what you consider beautiful. In 16th century Japan, there was a tea master named Sun no Rikyu. He was given a bowl, cracked, imperfect, flawed, and instead of replacing it, he filled the cracks with gold. He called the cracked bowl more beautiful, more valuable, more worthy than a perfect one, because the crack told a story, had history, had survived something. The samurai applied this to their own lives. A plan that did not go perfectly was not a failure. It was a more experienced plan. A body that was not ideal was not a problem to fix. It was a life being lived. A day that went wrong was not wasted. It was information. Tonight, find one thing in your life that you have been treating as a flaw and ask, what has this taught me? What story does this tell? What would be missing if this were not here? That shift from flaw to feature is Wabi-Sabi, and practice daily. It removes a weight you have been carrying for so long. You forgot it was there. Habit 4. Shinrin-Yoku. Forest bathing. And before you think this does not apply to you, stay with me, because the science behind this one is extraordinary. In 1982, the Japanese government introduced a national health program. It had one recommendation: spend time in nature. Without your phone. Without a destination. Without purpose. Just be in it. Dr. Ching Li, the world's leading researcher on forest medicine at Nippon Medical School, spent decades measuring what happens to the body when a person spends time in nature. His findings: after just 2 hours in nature, cortisol levels drop by 12.4. Blood pressure decreases measurably. NK cells, the immune system's most powerful cancer-fighting cells, increase by 40 from 2 hours of walking in nature. But here is what matters most for your daily life. Anxiety, measurably reduced. Focus, measurably improved. Creativity, measurably increased. Not from meditation. Not from medication. Not from a productivity system. From being outside. Among trees. Without your phone. You do not need a forest. A park works. A tree-lined street works. Any green space works. 20 minutes. No phone. No podcast. No destination. Just walk. And look. And breathe. Twice a week. That is the habit. Habit 5. Hara Hachi Bu. 4 words, practiced at every meal by the longest living people on earth. They mean, eat until you are 80% full. That is it. Not a diet. Not a food restriction. Not counting calories. Stop eating when you are 80% full. Your brain takes approximately 20 minutes to register that your stomach is full. Most people eat past fullness every single meal because they are moving faster than their brain's signal. The centenarians of Okinawa practice Hara Hachi Bu at every meal. They eat slowly. They stop before full. They have done this their entire lives. The result: average caloric intake significantly lower than Western adults. Average lifespan significantly higher. At your next meal, eat slowly. When you feel almost satisfied, not fully, almost, stop. Wait 20 minutes. You will find you were full long before you thought. Practice this once daily. That is Hara Hachi Bu. Habit 6. And this one brings everything together. The Japanese have a concept. Asa no routine. The morning ritual. Not a productivity routine. Not a 5-step optimization system. A morning that belongs to you. Completely. Before anyone else gets it. Neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman at Stanford University has studied the brain's state immediately after waking for years. His finding: the first hour after waking, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for focus, decision-making, and self-control, is in its most receptive state of the entire day. What you feed it in that hour shapes every hour that follows. The samurai called this Asa no Seishin, the morning spirit. They protected it completely. No external demands. No other people's noise. No information from the outside world. The morning belonged to them. And in it, they did 3 things. 1. Something physical. Even 10 minutes. Movement that wakes the body. 2. Something still. Even 2 minutes. Silence before the noise begins. 3. Something intentional. Writing the one thing today must contain. Tomorrow morning. Before your phone. Before your email. Before anyone else's voice enters your head. Do these 3 things. 10 minutes of movement. 2 minutes of silence. 1 sentence written. That is your morning. That is habit 6. 6 habits. Kaizen, 1% better every day. Ikigai, your reason to wake up. Wabi-Sabi, beauty in imperfection. Shinrin-Yoku, time in nature without your phone. Hara Hachi Bu, eat until 80% full. Asa no routine, a morning that belongs to you. You do not need all 6. Not today. Pick one. The one that felt, when you heard it, like something you already knew but had forgotten. That one. Start there. The Japanese did not develop these habits as productivity hacks. They developed them as answers to one question. A question every human being is asking, in one form or another. Every single day. How do I live well? These 6 habits, practiced by ordinary people across centuries, are the answer they found. Simple, specific, proven. Not by research alone, by lives actually lived. Your life is available to the same answers. Starting with one habit. Starting today. Ichigo Ichii. One moment. One chance. This one is yours.